Hello, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and today we are talking about what to expect on your first day of your Royal Caribbean cruise. And we are recording this video live. We do this every Friday on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, make sure you go over, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. That way, you'll be able to join us here each and every time we are live. We're going to be talking about today's topic, which of course is what to expect on Embarkation Day on your Royal Caribbean cruise. And then, my friends, back over to you in the chat as we answer some questions, talk cruising, otherwise have a great time together. Thanks for joining us here. And again, my name is Matt. Let's talk about the most magical, amazing, funnest day in the whole wide world, the first day of your Royal Caribbean cruise. Yes, the day your cruise is finally there, and there's a lot going on. So let's go through almost hour by hour here, talking about what to expect on the first day of your cruise. First and foremost, you're going to be starting off in the morning, arriving to your cruise terminal. Now, hopefully, you took some of our advice from some of our other videos, and you arrived to your cruise port at least a day ahead of time. What I mean is not flying into the city that your cruise is leaving from the same day. Reason being, you want to avoid any potential issues in which travel delays cause you to potentially miss the cruise. So remember that as a good tidbit there and good advice, a good pitfall to avoid. But certainly, you can begin check-in almost always, certainly North America, the check-in will begin at 10 a.m. Usually most terminals open there. Now, Royal Caribbean may give you a time for your check-in. They may say when you're doing the online check-in, say, oh, Mr. Smith, you may come in, your check-in time is noon to 1 o'clock. You can ignore that. Those boarding times or check-in times are suggestions. They're not enforced, and they're not required. So feel free to show up really anytime you like. But I kind of feel like, well, if you're waking up, you're excited, you maybe come from a hotel in which you got to check out anyway in the morning. If you're going to wait somewhere, may as well wait in the cruise terminal. And certainly when I go on my cruises, I'm always at the terminal somewhere in the 10 o'clock hour because boarding usually begins somewhere in the 11 o'clock hour. It can begin earlier. Sometimes it begins as early as like a little after 10:30 or so. And sometimes it goes as late as maybe 11:30 or so. But the bottom line is, the earlier you check in, the earlier you board your cruise. Now, what I do recommend, though, of course, you want to make sure you have all your stuff with you for check-in. Primarily, that's the set sail pass. That is your state-issued identification, right? Your passports, your birth certificate, whatever you happen to be using. But really, I feel like if you're planning on what time to get there, I advocate getting there in the morning, before noon. If you get there even in the 11 o'clock hour, you'll be there before the big rush. The big rush really happens around between, I'd say, about noontime till 2 o'clock. That's when the majority of folks show up to it. So if you can arrive a little earlier, that way you get to not only check in earlier, you'll be boarding earlier, and you'll have more time to enjoy on the ship. And in my opinion, also less of a line. So, but keep in mind that regardless of what time you show up there, what time boarding begins will depend on a variety of factors, including what time local customs clears the ship and some other things as well. But the check-in procedure rather, is pretty simple. When you drive up to the port area, whether you're driving yourself or someone's driving you, there's going to be curbside assistance to help you check your luggage. Kind of like the airport, in a way. You're at the curb. There'll be porters there to help you. There's no cost to use the porters, but they will, of course, they work on tips. So you give them usually $1 or $2 per bag. That's pretty much the going rate for that. And the porters will take whatever bags you want to give them, and they will take those bags and deliver them to the ship, which will later be delivered to your stateroom. Now, a really important thing to keep in mind is you want to keep with you stuff you don't give to the porters, things that you need to have with you for the next couple of hours. So you want to keep, obviously, your travel documents with you. You want to keep any medications you need with you, sensitive electronic devices, valuables, money, credit cards, your wallet. Keep that on you. But, the big suitcase with your suit and your dresses and all your clothes, that can go over to the porters. If you are bringing any wine or soft drinks with you, because you can bring some of those with you on board a Royal Caribbean ship, you need to make sure you keep them with you and not with the porters. So you definitely want to have your set sail pass, whether you have a printed one or some of the I don't say some of the newer ships, but some ships in the fleet now offer a mobile check-in via the Royal Caribbean app. Regardless, you want to have that with you and your ID. Now, Royal Caribbean often boards in groups based on the order you arrive, although, of course, they also base it on a couple factors. Number one, if you're staying in a suite, you'll have priority access. And, of course, in a cascading reverse order of Crown and Anchor Society status, they'll begin boarding. But don't worry, it's very simple. You walk in, after you check in the luggage, you go through security. Then you'll actually do the check-in process where they go through your paperwork. They'll issue you your CPass card or something similar to that. Depends on which ship you're going on. Sometimes the CPass cards are waiting on board. Sometimes they give the card to you. Regardless, they process you through there. They tell you where to wait. And then when you're called, bam, you're on your way to the ship. Now, once you get on board the ship, let's now move to about what I call lunch to 3 p.m. This is the early afternoon. So when you first get on board the ship, a lot of people ask, Matt, what do you go do first? And my answer is always the same. I go eat. You can go eat. Lunch is usually available around 11:30 or so in the morning. Depending on which ship you're on, there may be different venues open to you, some of which are complimentary, like the Windjammer, or maybe Cafe Promenade or Cafe Latitudes. And there may be also some specialty restaurants available, like maybe Chops Grill or Jamie's Italian or Johnny Rockets. Depends on the ship, so it'll vary. But when you check in, you'll get a boarding day cruise compass, and there it'll list what's available and what's open to you. So it's up to you how you want to go. But I am definitely all about going to the Windjammer on Embarkation Day. That is a Hotchberg cruising family tradition. Love that, because for us, that is really an opportunity to indulge. That's my moment when I'm sitting there in the Windjammer with my plate full of food, and it's like, yeah, I'm on a cruise. I got some Indian curry. I got some salad, some sandwiches. Oh, life is good, right? So there you go. Now, in the early afternoon, there's a lot, after you eat, there's a lot you can do on Embarkation Day. You can definitely go explore the ship. You can go swimming. There's a lot of different choices, but a spa tour is one good choice. The spa is open for tours for you to check on out. There's no cost associated with it. The spa tour is kind of interesting because it allows you to go see the facility, check out what they offer there. Plus, it's a really good option for the early part of that morning, or the first day rather, because it's an organized tour, take you through that. It's kind of nice to be able to see it anyway. Also, as I mentioned, the swimming pools are open. So another good tip for Embarkation Day is if you want to go swimming, bring your swimsuits with you. Keep them with you. Don't give them to the porters. Put them in your bag. There are rooms for you to change, restrooms primarily. But you have that option to do that. And before we had kids, we would not be the go to the swimming pool kind of people. But for us, now that our kids are a little old, we have kids and they're a little older, we definitely hit the pool first thing after we eat, of course. The reason being, everyone's got so much energy and so much anticipation. The pools are great because, first of all, there's very few people that use these pools on Embarkation Day, so it's kind of like having it to yourself, which is really nice. And of course, if the weather cooperates, why not? Go for it, right? Of course, if you don't have kids, or maybe your kids are a little older, some other good things to do on Embarkation Day. How about a drink at the bar, right? Have a welcome aboard drink. If you have a drink package, your drink package will work from the moment you step on board the ship. And if you're just going a la carte, no problem as well. Get an Embarkation Day drink. You're also going to want to register your kids at either Adventure Ocean or the nursery, depending on how old they are. There will be an open house, check the cruise compass as well, for that. That usually happens or starts at least at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But there's an open house at Adventure Ocean or the nursery in which you can go in there, check out the facility, ask questions, and register your kids. Whether or not they go there or not, irrelevant, but you can at least register them, take care of that, let the kids see the area, play around a little bit, talk with the counselors, and so forth. So really, really good thing. And of course, another thing some people do on Embarkation Day is, of course, purchase an alcohol package or maybe a dining package. There's a lot of things you can consider. I always advocate actually pre-purchasing those things before the cruise, but it is something for you to certainly take advantage of if you are on the fence about it and haven't bought it yet. That's a good thing to do on the first day as well. But really, what it boils down to is exploring the ship. I think it's really important on day one to walk around, just see where get your bearings, essentially. Because you can watch all of the YouTube videos in the world of what's available on your ship and where things are, but you got to see it for yourself. You got to be able to visualize it, right? Now, around 1 o'clock p.m., your staterooms will be ready. So usually, it's almost always at 1 p.m. Occasionally, it can be a little later than that. But at 1 p.m., your staterooms will be ready, which means up until 1 o'clock, you can't go to your room. But at 1 p.m. after that, you'll have access to your stateroom. So go check that out, meet your stateroom attendant, and, maybe for some people, drop off some stuff. Some people actually take a nap. I have way too much energy for that Embarkation Day nap right away. But hey, it's been a long day so far, right? And maybe you burned up a lot of energy. So there you go. Now, from 3 p.m. to about 6 p.m., you've got also, it depends on this is going to vary obviously based on your what ship you're on, the ship's departure time, and a couple other things. But first and foremost, something everybody has to do on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and any cruise for that matter, is to go to muster drill. This is a mandatory safety drill that'll take place where guests are instructed what to do in case of an emergency at sea. It takes like 30 or 45 minutes at the most. Everyone's got to do it. I know, it's not the most fun thing in the world, but don't worry. It's over quickly. It goes by fast, and it's something everyone's got to do. But before you know it, it's back out for party time. Now, after muster drill, actually, let's talk about muster drill for a quick second here. For muster drill, the crew members will assign you where to go. There's actually, here's looking for an old CPAS card. You'll see on your CPAS card something like this that shows you your muster stations. In this case, on this ship, it was Station 5. Basically, your the crew members all around. Here's another example. We'll show you where to go. Here's F-18 was that one. You go there. When you get to your muster station, you'll be instructed on what would happen in the case of an emergency at sea. You do not need to bring life jackets with you. Back in the day, or not even that, maybe a decade ago or so, you had to, but not the case anymore, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Now, sail away usually follows after muster drill, in which case there's a sail away party by the pool, and you can go dance, sing, just observe, whatever you want to do. But the good news is there's plenty of opportunities to enjoy sail away, whether you want to party on down and dance the night away, or start dancing the night away, or you just want to enjoy a nice drink as the ship starts to leave port. Sail away is a great time. It's a really, really fun culmination of day one. It is the opportunity to wave goodbye to land and responsibility, maybe your kids, if they're at home, and enjoy some time finally getting your cruise started. It's really, really nice. And then from 6 p.m. until the rest of the evening, my friends, real classic cruise time. Of course, you're going to have a lot of evening plans lined up. You've got to have dinner, there's entertainment, there's dancing, there's live music. In short, there is a lot to do on the first day of your cruise. And when you get to that evening point, man, it's really when your cruise truly begins, because now you have your dinner, whether you're in the dining room, at the buffet, at a specialty restaurant. Maybe you're enjoying some more drinks, checking out the shows. I love Embarkation Day. And, there's a lot that goes on there on the first day of the cruise. Totally a great experience. And I'll tell you that the key, I think, really is just to understand what is going to be coming your way with Embarkation Day. It's not a big deal. It's just something, if the more prepared you are, I think the better it is. So there you go. Embarkation Day advice right here on our channel. And now we're going to go right over to the chat and say hello to all our friends there. I want to start off with the most important question I can ask the chat, which is how many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Type it in chat. Let's count down together. Jody says Royal Caribbean excels at live music. I agree. Sail Away with Logan's going on Alaska on Radiance in June. Nice. Jody going on Serenade in 232 days. Jason Clark, 58 days. Amy, 53 days. Matey Mara's got so many questions going on my first cruise, November for our anniversary. Well, you know what, Matey? I'm not able to answer them all right now, but give me your best question. I'll be happy to answer it here. That's what we do here, by the way. We do the live videos here on YouTube every Friday, or almost every Friday. I missed last week, but I was on a cruise ship. The internet was terrible, so it wasn't going to happen. But almost every Friday, we're here live answering your questions. So we do the little topic in the beginning, and then it's over to your questions. How much is the full ship tour, Margaret wants to know. It depends on the ship and the sailing, Margaret. It's sometimes less than $100, sometimes a little more than $100. Depends on the sailing. But check your cruise planner on Royal Caribbean's website. You can find it over there. Joey's going on Allure this Sunday. Nice. Sherry just got home from Oasis. It was the ship's end shows were amazing. Sherry, I love Oasis of the Seas. Great ship. The whole Oasis class is unbelievable. Let's see here. Chad Clark says, I went on Liberty of the Seas February 10th to 17th, and over, had a good time, but there's stuff I liked and didn't like. One was the size of the cabin didn't impress me whatsoever. I'm sorry to hear that, but maybe next time you'll know exactly what kind of room you don't want to get, so that way you know what to get for the next time. Sutton wants to know, have I had a chance to use the Key program? What are my thoughts on it? I have not, but I do have it purchased for my next cruise on Mariner of the Seas next month. I'll tell you a couple things about the Key. Number one, we have a full review of the Key at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. One of our writers took an opportunity to check it out, and there's a really in-depth review, so if you go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com and read the review there, you'll have a good indication of that. But I really feel like the Key is really good for folks who were already to buy the internet package, are not staying in a suite, and may not have terribly high level of Crown and Anchor Society status. I think it's a really good option. Sports Crazy won Harmony of the Seas in April. Hope it's a nice ship. Dude, it is an amazing ship. It's my favorite Royal Caribbean ship. Ethan, 274 days till Thanksgiving cruise. Nice. All right, so questions here from Sean H. I'm going to have a group of 25 coming up on Harmony for my wedding in December. Where's a good place to do sail away as a group? Oh, man. Well, it's hard to go wrong with a sail away party up on the pool deck. I mean, that's just the classic place, Sean. There's going to be live music. There's going to be drinks over there. That's a really good spot for you. I would probably recommend that. Let's see here. Oh, HP, what are the perks for the junior suites? So HP wants to know what are the perks if you stay in a junior suite stateroom. You're going to get priority embarkation. You're going to get, obviously, a larger room and balcony. You're going to get double Crown and Anchor Society points, upgraded toiletries in your bathroom, a full-size bathtub, as opposed to just a stand-up shower, and a walk-in closet. And Jody, thank you for posting the URL right over there, RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. DM, does Paradise Beach have annoying vendors? No. They have, obviously, at the beach there's some opportunities to do things, but no, they don't have people like just roaming the beach over there. Lisa's going on Symphony in May. Nice. So Wayne wants to know, first Royal Caribbean cruise in April, we purchased the Boggle, I think you mean Bogo. Oh, the Bogo, okay. Which says it has to be used the first, second night. Can this be changed to any night, or do they stick that night? You know, Wayne, you can ask. They're definitely, at least the first night, the first restaurant you eat at needs to be on night 1 or night 2. Beyond that, I mean, like, you can ask about it. Sometimes they're a little more flexible than other times, but there's no harm in certainly asking for some flexibility there. Penelope wants to know, when booking excursions to places like El Cosmolino, is it important to book sooner opposed to later? That's a really good question, Penelope. You know what? In the Caribbean, excursions don't usually sell out, but here's my advice. My advice is if you know you want to do something, you may as well book it in advance. The reason being is sometimes they do sell out. And, you know, resorts like El Cosmolino, and that's a resort, a hotel resort in Cozumel, they sell day passes. And you know what? There are a limited amount of day passes over there. So if you know you want to do it, I do recommend booking it ahead of time. You know, most times it's just a deposit anyway, and I feel like that's a better way to go about it. Mr. and Mr. Vlogs, any thoughts on using Air to Sea? I have not used them, but the common thought process on Air to Sea, which is Royal Caribbean's airfare program, is if you're going to be booking international airfare, it's a good idea. For domestic airfare, not so much. Jeff Howell says, Matt, you're amazing. Can't believe the work and energy you put into the site and videos. Well done. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. I'm so glad you're joining me here. That's all that matters. Otherwise, I'd be talking to myself. So I really appreciate the very, very kind words. Let's see here. Brandon Owen is here. I like this. I can watch Matt on the big screen. Hello, Owen family. COD Squad, my alert cruise next month goes out of Miami. Do you know when the port opens? 10 a.m. COD Squad. Almost any port, the terminal will open at about 10 a.m. Cindy Blue, Majesty of the Seas, 126 days. I need to upgrade our drink packages for our 4-day cruise. Sounds like you're going with some friends and family there. I like it. Let's see here. Denise, disembarking in Vancouver, where do we go through customs? In the terminal, Denise. When you leave the ship, you'll go through just like an airport, essentially. Excuse me. Two-speed, never been on Royal Caribbean, but I want to. Why do you like Royal Caribbean better than other cruise lines if you don't want my asking? Oh, no, that's perfectly great question, Two-speed. You know what it is? I feel like Royal Caribbean offers a great balance of what you pay for versus what you get. Other cruise lines may give you more, but they cost a lot more. Other cruise lines may be a lot cheaper than Royal Caribbean, but I feel like you get a lot less. And I feel like Royal Caribbean is in that sweet spot of offering you the perfect kind of opportunity. You know what I mean? And that really endears me to it. And I've cruised on Disney, and I've cruised on Norwegian, and you know what? I've just come back to Royal Caribbean each and every time. It just drew me to it because I really love that balance and also the amazing things Royal Caribbean offers on its ships. I think they really stand out for their onboard experience. Digital 0785, do they have plans to update the rooms on the Mariner Navigator after doing amped up refurbishments of the ship? Well, Mariner already had one digital, so it's already there. You know, in general, they work on that. The rooms in general, you know, they don't make press releases because it's not that sexy of an announcement. But there's absolutely some work being done. I don't know the full extent of it digital. Like, is it just carpeting? Is it beds? Is it the whole thing? I don't think it's quite to the extent that they're just going to gut every room and redo them all. But they absolutely do work that, while it may not make a list of things on a press release that they're doing, still being done in the background. Dave, you know when drag packages will get cheaper? Actually, Dave, there is a cruise planner sale right now going on. Just began on Wednesday. Runs through next week, the early part of next week, so it's about a week-long sale, Dave. We have the details at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. My advice to you, Dave, is to go check it out. You know, with drink packages, the price varies from sailing to sailing, ship to ship. There's no telling, Dave, because I'm maybe on my sailing, my upcoming cruise, It's cheaper. On yours, you may not see it. But keep checking back. And one of the things I always tell people, and this applies to anything you purchase before the cruise, drink packages, shore excursions, internet packages, etc. If you know you want to buy something, like the drink package, book it now. Why? Because the price can go up just as much as it can go down. And if you buy it now, you will lock in the price and guard yourself against a price increase. But if the price goes down, you can always go into the cruise planner and cancel any purchase you make without any penalty, and then immediately rebook it at the lower price, taking advantage of the discount. So, hopefully that makes some sense. M Cruiser wants to know any word on the Oasis of the Seas amplified refit water slide selling on her next year. No, M Cruiser Roller has not said a word about what's going to happen there. As soon as I do know what they're adding and or changing to Oasis of the Seas next year, or this year rather, I will post about it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Lisa Nichols, what to do in St. Thomas? I recommend checking out Magens Bay. Magens Bay is a beautiful beach, one of the most beautiful beaches in the whole wide world. I think you'd like it quite a bit. Ethan, I know this is about Royal Caribbean, but I still want to know your thoughts about the Carnival Mardi Gras. I know nothing about that ship, so yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start. Mark Smith, what's my favorite place to eat on Navigator? Well, you know, it used to be Sabor Modern Mexican, but they're getting rid of it on there. But Mark, I'm going on Navigator of the Seas next week for a quick 2-night preview, and I'll report back when I get back. How about that? I think we got a super chat from Jerry Holiday. Jerry, thank you for the super chat. And Jerry wants to know, where do you purchase the Royal Caribbean wristbands at? Does it work for the drink packages? Thank you for all the great info. Jerry, thank you so much for the super chat, sir. That was very kind of you. You can get the WOW bands, that's what they're called, at guest services. Jerry, on Oasis, on Harmony and Symphony, they usually sell them at Boleros on day one. It's kind of like a clearinghouse, like just make it simpler. But you can always get it at guest services. And it does work for the drink package. Yes, the WOW bands work just like the SeaPass cards. They work interchangeably, so you can absolutely use them to purchase a drink, so to speak. No, Brandon, the boxes are just old. They're actually, you know what it is, Brandon? I just don't throw in my boxes I get in the mail. It's just, I need to get rid of them. And now that you mentioned it, you made me feel bad about it, so I got to definitely do that after this. Captain's Table MDR, love the name. Have you heard any feedback on Navigator of the Seas regarding the upgrades since returning from dry dock? She has not returned from dry dock, Captain's Table. She returns next week. I'm going to be on the first. It's a preview sailing, so I'll be getting a chance to check them on out. The NYC Lover for Life. I love that name because I'm an NYC Lover for Life. I've been watching you for a while, going on Navigator December 9th to Nassau, and wondered if you have any opinions on Sandals all-inclusive day pass. I have not tried that one, but I am a big fan of the day pass kind of thing. I think it's a really fun idea. I have not been to that one. I have been to one day pass place in Nassau. That was the British Colonial Hilton. I like that one quite a bit. I think it's a really, really good value. Those aren't boxes, Jody says. It's a cat condo. It's true. The cat loves to sleep in there. Edward, what's your opinion of Enchantment of the Seas? Great ship. Love Enchantment. Go for it. There's no ship in the fleet I don't recommend. They're all really, really good. Ethan, do you have to book laser tag or just show up? You just show up. That's basically how it works there. Sailing with Logan, does Royal Caribbean sail to the Galapagos? No, unfortunately not, but their sister company, Celebrity Cruises, does. And Batman, is the BOGO package worth it? Hey, if you want to eat at 2 specialty restaurants, it is definitely cheaper than anything else. Just Drea wants to know, what is a WOW band? Hang on, Drea. Let me answer the question for you. It is one of these. It is a RFID bracelet, kind of like if you've ever been to Disney World. It's kind of like a magic band. So it's an RFID silicone bracelet. They come in 4 different colors: white, black, blue, and yellow. And you wear them on your wrist, obviously, and they work interchangeably. So instead of using your SeaPass card, or with your SeaPass card, you can also use this. It opens your doors. You can buy things with it, check in for things. Jeff Howell with the super chat. Jeff, thank you very much for the super chat and the info and recommendations on Formal Night. You know what, Jeff? The reality of Formal Night is it's not nearly as formal as even though it has the word formal in it. It's not what you think, dude. I mean, you don't have to wear a tuxedo or get a ball gown or anything like that. It's not nearly like that by any means. It is really and truly just a nicer than other nights kind of night, if that makes any kind of sense. So it's just an opportunity, for men, what I'm wearing right now is Formal Night approved. Collared shirt, nice pair of khakis. That's all you have to do. You don't have to wear tuxedos. You certainly can, but that's all it is. How much is a WOW band? Sandy wants to know. WOW bands cost $4.99. But the good news is you can actually reuse them on different sailings. Just bring them back and then give them to guest services, and they can exchange it for you. Mr. Vlogs, we're going on July 2020 on Freedom of the Seas. How soon should we book excursions? You know, it depends. There's no real time. Like I said, most excursions don't sell out that often, but I do recommend as soon as you know you want something, you might as well book it, you know? I wouldn't tell you, it's not like something like you need to book it like, months and months in advance, but it's probably a good idea to have plans ahead of time and just guard against anything potentially selling out, especially if it's something you really want to do. Mickey Atkinson is here. That must mean Grace Atkinson is nearby as well. Hello, Mickey. Hello, Grace. Glad to have you guys here. BR, have you ever sailed on Brilliance of the Seas? Dude, I was just on Brilliance of the Seas last weekend, believe it or not. I've been on her 3 or 4 times now. Amazing ship. And everybody should what to do on board. Go see the pub singer on there. Check out the nightly entertainment. Really, really nice. Check out one of the specialty restaurants. That's amazing as well. And do sail away from the helipad. You can do that as well. DM, is the dock finished? Okay, not yet. Not yet. Ivy Brooks, what's your opinion on Adventure of the Seas and any suggestions of things to do in New England? Adventure's a great ship. I have never sailed to New England, Canada, but I am going for the first time next year. Michael A with the super chat. Thank you, Michael A, for the super chat. Anyone know the wheelchair doors on Independence of the Seas? The website says 24 inches and handicap department says 35. Oh man, you asked me a question, dude. I don't know the definitive answer on. I can't give you. I wish I could give you an answer that I don't want to mislead you. I have no idea. If someone in the chat does know that, perhaps we can help Michael answer that question about the width of the doors on Independence of the Seas. Funky Biggie Daddy. You got, by the way, I love the names here on YouTube. I'm going to sail on Symphony of the Seas. Is it good? What do you recommend? Oh yeah, dude, it's amazing. Symphony is the newest Royal Caribbean ship in the fleet. It is incredible. My recommendation is do it all. You'll love it. Pascal is going on Brilliance of the Seas for 2020. Woohoo! For the Royal Caribbean Blog Group Cruise. Yes! We have a number of Royal Caribbean Blog Group cruises lined up here coming up in this year and next year. And I'm inviting all of you guys to come join me for them. All you have to do, this is basically all it is, by the way. It's just a Royal Caribbean cruise in which we invite everybody, including you guys, to come cruise with us. Because after all, what's better than a Royal Caribbean cruise? A Royal Caribbean cruise with friends, right? And you can ask Jody and Brandon and a lot of other friends in here that have done them before. They're a ton of fun. We have our next upcoming group cruise is this one, which is on Mariner of the Seas, March 15th and 18th. Going not once, but twice to Coco Cay. Then we have Anthem of the Seas in July 4th, 2019. And we also have one on Freedom of the Seas for December. And Brilliance of the Seas going to New England and Canada in October of 2020. And more information for all of our group cruises right there at the bottom, RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com/events. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com/events. So come join us for it. Brandon Owen is on one of those group cruises, the New Year's Eve one. JD wants to know, has anyone with back problems ever done the iFly? I'm thinking to run it by my psychiatrist, but I thought I would ask you all. Yeah, I would ask your doctor first. Don't ask randos on the internet. Talk to your doctor. X-Sudden, I just purchased a meal plan for Symphony, and first meal, second night. Can I change the... Yes, once you're on board, I know where your question is going. What if you buy any dining package, you can... Oh, first and foremost, you should make your... Once you're on board the ship, go make any reservations you want. You can change it for as you see fit. No question about it. Pascal Smith, I can't wait for the group cruise. I am so excited for that one. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, guys, if you're enjoying this video, do me a favor, hit the like button below. It really helps out the video. Just hit those like buttons. That way you get tell YouTube, hey, this guy's pretty good. And it's not a cat video. Michael Stanley, me and my fiance are going on Symphony for our honeymoon. I just booked our entertainment last night. I'm wondering when I can reserve seats. You can't. You don't reserve seats. By booking your shows, it's just it doesn't guarantee you, but it allows you admission into the theater ahead of time. That's all. But you don't. It's not like the movie theater where you choose an actual seat. Or maybe it is like your movie theater. I'm not sure. All the movie theaters over here, you pick seats now. But when I was a kid, that was never the case. Anyway, I digress. Ed wants to know, getting married on Harmony in June. Do kids under 21 get the soda package automatically with guaranteed Central Park or Boardwalk balcony rooms? So, Ed, neither. You get if you stay in a Boardwalk balcony room, you get the first 2 guests on the reservations get a complimentary soda package. Hopefully that makes sense there. Cats videos are cool too. It is true, Pascal. I'm not above a good cat video. Peaches wants to know, when will the new amenities at Coco Cay be opening? The first phase of them will open in May of this year. Jody, I agree. The internet is for cats. Kyle, is the key worth the expense? You know what? It's like so many things, Kyle. If you take advantage of what it offers, it is. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't say here, everybody should get it. But I think it's something nice. It's a nice way to kind of, it's a VIP program, right? So it's a good way. It's kind of like when like when you go on the airline, you book a flight, and they offer you those seats with extra space. That's kind of what it's all about, right? Mr. Sports Papa, what is the best Aqua Theater show? Oh my gosh. I think the best one is on Symphony right now, the Fine Line. No, Hero. Sorry, I'm thinking Fine Line is on Harmony. With each new ship, each new Oasis class ship, I feel like they iterate considerably and it gets better and better and better. Justy says, my in-laws are currently on Serenade. I'm so jealous. They didn't invite you? Brandon is asking to be blocked. He's been asking to be blocked for a long time. Sports Crazy, does Starbucks include in the drink package? All right. So Sport Crazy, I know the words, I get this question a lot. The word Starbucks gets thrown around a lot. Your drink packages, the deluxe deluxe beverage package, which is the alcohol package, and the Royal Refreshment package includes specialty coffees, right? Espresso-based drinks like macchiatos and lattes and espressos and things of that nature. And they are included with your drink package at places like Cafe Promenade, La Patisserie on Anthem of the Seas, any main dining room, any specialty restaurant. Yes, the answer to your question is yes. But on Oasis class ships and soon to be Navigator of the Seas, where there's a freestanding Starbucks location, it is not included. But any other ship, totally included. Does that make sense? So on Oasis class ships, if you cannot use your drink package at the Starbucks location, but you can go to Cafe Promenade and get a latte or a macchiato or something like that. Juan, will you upload on the Royal Caribbean blog your next Navigator of the Seas cruise cups? I will not, Juan. I'm not joking. You know why? Because I'm on a 2-night preview cruise. It's not a real sailing. So giving you the cruise compass would be utterly useless. I hate to say it that way because it's not a real sailing. It's not going to represent what you're actually going to see. But as soon as we do get them, and I expect to get them quite quickly, Juan, we will post them on the blog. You got my word on that one. I just don't want to... The one I'm going to get is useless because it's a preview sailing. You know what I mean? Are the Coca-Cola freestyle machines on Navigator? I don't know. I also don't know if it's going to change with the changeover, with this makeover that Navigator's doing right now. But I will check when I go on board. How about that? Jason Clark has the ultimate dining and drinking package for Adventure of the Seas, and I think the rest of his question got cut off. He just wrote how. Drea wants to know, going into Independence of the Seas for New Year's Eve, will there be any special events? Oh, yes, there will be. On New Year's Eve, there'll be a lot of parties, Drea. There'll be dance parties. There'll be special restaurant options for you. Jason Clark, how much cash should I have on for the dining package? Well, you don't need anything for the dining package. For the drink package, it does include your gratuity. It's up to you if you want to tip on top of that, but gratuity is included with the dining package and the drink package. Zane listened to my podcast for about 7 hours today. Never really heard you talk about Liberty that much. Go on in April. Well, actually, Zane, we've done a lot of guest reviews of Liberty. In short, it's an awesome ship, dude. And a lot of stuff we talk about for freedom or independence applies to Liberty as well. But we've done, Zane, check the archives. There's a number of cruise reviews I've done with folks who've gone back from Liberty. I haven't sailed in Liberty personally, but everybody loves that ship. Brandon, I can't wait for the Freedom Group cruise on New Year's Eve. I can't wait to experience New Year's Eve on a Royal Caribbean ship. Penelope, my sister and I are wondering if there's any to-go containers in the Windjammer. No, there's not, Penelope, but you can use a plate. Just take a plate. If you need something if you're worried about like spillage or whatever, you can ask for a little cover for it, or some people just take another plate and put it on top. But you can just take the plate and walk out of there. There's no open carry laws or anything like that. You can take it wherever you want to go. And you should. It's a good idea. Is Anthem a good ship? Primetime Puck. Anthem is an amazing ship. Jock wants to know, are the buffets open all night on Symphony or Oasis? Not all night. They usually close down about 9:30, 10 o'clock, but there's other venues available for you. Don't worry. You will not go hungry on your cruise. Howlman2112 going on Grandeur in August out of Baltimore. I have not been on Grandeur, but I've been on our sister ship, Rhapsody. Really, really fun. Kyle, is there an age minimum for the slide on Symphony? There's not an age minimum, but there is a height requirement. If you're going to ask me what the height requirement is, I have no idea off the top of my head. But check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I do have the information over there. Sam wants to know, trying to decide on a cruise to go over this summer. Do you have any suggestions? How about Harmony of the Seas, Symphony of the Seas? How about the brand new refurbished Navigator of the Seas? Can't go wrong with any of those places. Mr. and Mr. Vlogs, we're trying the Promenade View interior room on Freedom. Will it be too noisy? No. Oh, the Promenade View? No, I've stayed in those before. You'll love them. It's great people watching. I think you'll like it quite a bit. Brent says, I've never starved on a Royal Cruise. No. You'll never go hungry. You won't. After about an hour on the ship, you won't be hungry anymore. Métis Mara says, what is your best tip for a 3-day cruise on Navigator in November for tours to Atlantis? We do not want to do the water park. I would suggest instead skip Atlantis. Atlantis is nice. It's very expensive, though. I would actually recommend the British Colonial Hilton. It's a lot cheaper. You get a day pass over there. It's beautiful. I think you'd like that quite a bit. We actually, Métis, we did a video right here on our YouTube channel like 2 weeks ago, maybe, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, all about 3-night cruise tips. So check out that video we did. Justine is cheating on Royal? What? With Celebrity. Okay, that's okay. That's their sister company. Not that cheating on your sister is a good idea, but yeah. It's all good, dude. Dubs, we can see your comments. I know there's sometimes I might miss a question. I apologize. There's a lot of folks in here, and I want to answer them all. The good news is, by the way, if you don't get your question answered or you want more information, whatever, we have a great message board community at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Nintendo wants to know, is there a Royal Caribbean cruise ship anywhere in Japan going there this summer? They do have cruises that visit Japan. I don't think they start there. So there are ships that leave definitely from China. That's a big cruise hub for Royal Caribbean. They absolutely do visit Japan. But I don't think there's any ships that start, begin and end their sailing in Japan. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's the case. I would actually recommend you work with a travel agent, and they might be able to help you there find that one for you. Let's see here. First cruise ship, Voyager of the Seas from Singapore. Is this ship much smaller than the other ships? No, it's right in the middle, honestly. Voyager class, which Voyager of the Seas is a pretty big ship. You're talking about 3,500 passengers. It's pretty good. Jody can answer all the questions. I should have Jody do this for me. I think that's a great idea. Juan, do you like Oasis or Quantum best? Oh, that's a loaded question, Juan. That's a loaded question. I like them both. I think I probably lean towards Oasis class just a smidge, but they're really, really good. Pam wants to know, welcome Pam, glad to see you here. Perfect Day Coco, one ship at a time or more than one? There could be situations in which there's more than one. I believe the capacity of Perfect Day Coco will be somewhere around 6,000 passengers. So you could definitely say a Vision class ship and a Voyager class ship or something like that. But you won't have 2 Oasis class ships there. I mean, it's going to be within reason. Darian, does Symphony of the Seas have the skydiving simulator like other Oasis class ships? No. No Oasis class ship has the skydiving simulator. The skydiving simulator, which is known as Ripcord by iFly, is only on the Quantum class ships like Anthem of the Seas. So, but there is plenty to do on the Symphony. You're going to have, they have 2 flow riders, zip line, Broadway show, mini golf, water slides, a dry slide. You're not going to run out of things to do on that ship. You're not going to be disappointed in the least bit. Joshua Jameson, is the port in Cape Canaveral good? Absolutely. Really, really easy. Jason Clark, I hope that Royal Caribbean sails out of Charleston, South Carolina one day. I wouldn't hold your breath on that one, dude, but you never know. James, how have you done in the casino? James and Jody, I lose so much money in the casino, but I enjoy it. It's fun. My wife does not enjoy me losing money in there, but I do go in there. Occasionally I win, but mostly I lose. And yet I still go back. It's craziness. Trident Force, is the pure finish to Coco? It is not. It is not. Not yet, anyway, but it's supposed to be finished in March. Doing a Dutch-French adventure out of Southampton in October 2019. What would you recommend for an appropriate cruise wear? You know what? I think, Cheryl, when it comes to that kind of weather, it's almost like Alaska. Layers, right? You want to pack some t-shirts, some long sleeve shirts, and a couple maybe like jackets or light jackets, like fleeces. That way that way you can, since the weather is so unpredictable, you're covered in any situation. You know what I mean? Suzanne Turner, are there more channels on the TV in the staterooms? Yes, there are. There's quite a few channels actually these days. Dubs asked this question a lot of times, but really want to know if the Peekaboo is still on Navigator. My understanding, Dubs, is they've removed it as part of the changes to Navigator. I will verify that for you when I go on next week. But I've heard that it is indeed going away. Malcolm, am I better off struggling Coco or Nassau? I might lean towards Nassau. Depends on where in Nassau, obviously. The Bahamas in general, I mean, neither place is phenomenal. Like, phenomenal snorkeling is you're talking about Cozumel, Belize, Roatan. But not saying there's bad snorkeling in Coco Cay or Nassau. I think I would just assume that there's more variety of spots in Nassau, so I might lean in that direction. But I'm also not a snorkeler, so I'm not necessarily the best gauge on that one. Mr. Sports Papa, what should I expect from Oasis of the Seas? An awesome time. The Oasis class ships are unbelievable. There is nothing like the Oasis class. Ethan, if I can live on any ship, what ship would it be and why? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's got to be like one of the Oasis class ships. That way you have a variety of things to do on there, right? Zane, I've heard on the podcast about people talking about Galveston not being an easy port to disembark from compared to others. Can you explain? Yeah, so basically, Zane, the issue is on when the cruise is over, the customs, this is not Royal Caribbean, the customs agents, the custom process in Galveston for some reason is slower than every other port. So long lines can develop there. And that, basically what it means, Zane, is that people have reported longer waits to get off the ship and out of the cruise terminal than they have in other ports. It's not impossible, but I wouldn't recommend booking a morning flight. That's all. Have patience and you'll be fine. Does the key program help in Galveston, Shannon? You do get priority disembarkation, Shannon, so it may help you get a little bit around that. But I think the name of the game, if you really want to get out of Galveston quickly, is to carry off your own luggage and be one of the first people off the ship early in the morning. That, I feel like, is really the key. No pun intended. Have I ever done the boss underwater experience at Charlotte Molly? I have not, Jacques. That's a good question. Hello, Miguel. Welcome. Glad to have you here as well. All right, guys, I've run out of time here. Thank you so much for joining us. I do appreciate it. If you got more questions, please feel free to go over to our message boards at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. You can post them over there. And, of course, we'll be live again next Friday, guys. So we'll have a chance to talk some more Royal Caribbean with all of you. Until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy. Do something fun. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. See you guys.